My crew and I had reached Jacksonville so fast that I still had 30 days to do the next 225 miles down to Stuart, Florida. And although I had a good time in Jacksonville, and I got to see family and friends, it was time to go. So as I prepared to depart off into the fog, let me take a second to remind y'all to let these videos play all the way through. I haven't asked y'all for money, but I do need about 15 to 20 minutes of your screen time. With that said, let's head south. Alright, so long Jacksonville. It's been real. Been here since Friday, I want to say, Friday evening. It's Monday morning. I was starting to feel too comfortable in that marina. Life goes on, baby. Heading south, not sure where. I'll stop today, but had to get out of the marina. You get too comfortable in those marinas, and that's not good. So, time to move on. Plus, they cost a lot of money, so it's definitely time to move on. Again, I'm not sure where I'm going, just south. So, it's a foggy day. I wanted to leave at like 6 this morning, but it was a whole lot more fog. As you can see, it's still really foggy. I'm just gonna take it slowly and, stay on my charts. When I departed Jacksonville, I decided that my destination plans would be very loose, meaning I could stop short of or continue further than without any feelings of guilt. I initially wanted to get back on the ocean if the weather cleared up, but since it didn't, I decided that St. Augustine would be my next stop. The sky remained overcast as I dipped in and out of foggy conditions. This stretch of the ICW was very shallow and narrow, and often required my undivided attention as a solo sailor. This is crazy. So I just touched bottom trying to get out of the way. We are in the Florida ICW. There's not a lot of room for these passes. So I just touched. I have to slow down. This is crazy. This is crazy. I arrived in St. Augustine to about a quarter-mile visibility. It stayed that way for the next 2 days. I felt the least bit fazed by the weather, as I had no need to go anywhere or even leave the boat. I had enough food, and there were plenty of boat projects to do. This is one that I probably should have jumped on prior to leaving Virginia, because it became progressively worse on the ocean, and it leaked a lot. But, hey, That's what the anchorages are made for. When I awoke on the fourth morning in St. Augustine, the wind had blown the fog away and revealed a beautiful place that I had to go see. Only a shower and a dinghy ride stood between me and St. Augustine. So some sailing channels tell you to go to Patreon or OnlyFans to take a shower with you. But at Damage Control, we're giving you all of boat life, all for free. It's always a pleasure to run into good folks who you follow or who follow you. I ran into Abby, Brian, and their famous feline Nemo at the St. Augustine City Dock. This is a family that certainly knows what life is about. Check them out at Viking Spirit Adventures on Facebook and Instagram. The D. St. Augustine's, Florida. First time off the boat this week, and well, for 4 days. Yeah, feels good. I'm wobbling a little bit, but hey, I'm okay. I think the first thing I'll do is go check out that old fort. I've been, sleeping right outside of it for 4 days on the boat, so I think it's just a short walk down that way. And I got nothing else to do. There's a ton of motorcycles here, and you hear them all night. They're loud, they rev them up, and all night long you can hear them. I later found out that there were so many motorcycles in town because it was Bike Week in Daytona Beach. So this is the high rent district here, the mooring field, where the city charges $30 a night to grab a mooring ball. And just beyond that, over there, is the free rent district. So that's where I'm parked, right over there. So here we are at Castillo de San Marcos. Feel free to drop a comment and let me know how I did with that pronunciation. Upon entering the fort, I quickly began to discover that this was much more than some old-timey sight to see. I was entering a rabbit hole of history that was pivotal in the formation of the United States, Cuba, pivotal in the eventualities of Native Americans and African Americans. While Castillo de San Marcos is indeed a very cool historic monument, it is also the door to that rabbit hole that I mentioned. Since there's too much for me to cover here, I will include a link in the description to the National Park Service's virtual tour of Castillo de San Marcos. I took the virtual tour myself, and it's certainly worth it, especially since you can do it at your own pace and for free. Multiple field trips out here. It's asking the kids not to touch the walls at all. Good luck with that, buddy. And this is the view from the fort of Validated sitting pretty at anchor. So right across the street from the fort is the hub of commerce of St. Augustine, Florida. All these little alleys are filled with shops and people. In a maze of excitement. Not that I'm overly cheap, but in Washington, D.C., all of the world-renowned museums and monuments are free, so I'm a little put off with the admission fees. I came across a home that dated back to the 1700s when Spain and England were beefing over Florida. Here, I explored the history of St. Augustine from a Spaniard's perspective. Next, I came across the St. Photios National Greek Orthodox Shrine. This place is very interesting, even if you're not Greek Orthodox, because the history told here lays the foundation for the beef between Spain and England from a colonizer's perspective. If you've been in Florida more than a day, you've probably seen the name Flagler around. Well, that's Henry Morrison Flagler. He was a dude from Ohio back in the mid to late 1800s. He was originally the founder of Standard Oil, but later became known for the development of the east coast of Florida. In fact, I believe he made the East Florida Railway that went from like the Daytona Beach all the way down to Key West. So after hours and hours of history lessons, I'd had enough. I decided to take a walk to the grocery store. And then this happened. Tucked away in a modest little building off the beaten path is the Accord Civil Rights Museum. Since it was open, I decided to check it out, and man was I glad I did. I'd always heard that St. Augustine was the oldest city in the United States and was rich with history, but I had no idea of the role that St. Augustine, Florida played in the civil rights movement. I encourage you all to find 79 Bridge Street and drop in if you're ever in St. Augustine. Uh-huh.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
The peace sign.
Oh no.
No?
Oh no. That sign is for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The gold picture, and then there's one of the black picture frame up there on the cabinet. The gold is of Miss Lisa Plummer.
Which one? Oh, okay.
And then next to her is Gail Blattenberger. Gail was a Princeton student during that time. The Klan found out that she was staying at a black woman's home. So they filled the beach ball up gasoline and tried to blow her house. So they rolled it up against that gas tank. They set it on fire, tried to blow her house up. So that's a picture of them holding the beach ball and what remained of it. Those two pictures. So the other family, their car was set afire at a PTA meeting. This cabinet is an account of when the Klan had a meeting here in St. Augustine. They found Dr. Hale was dying on this meeting,
So the first black maxillofacial surgeon in the state of Florida.
And Dr. Palin took over his practice after he was in a car accident. So that's how Dr. Palin met him. On the wall above was Miss Mary Peabody. She was the mother of the governor of Massachusetts at the time. 74 years old. She was arrested, and in between the picture of her at the jail, there's a telegram from Dr. Palin he had sent to the governor about his mother being arrested here. So they just didn't care in St. Augustine.
Right. Eventually, I did make it to the grocery store and even bought a wagon. St. Augustine had given me so much more than I had anticipated, and now I was ready to move on. The sun would soon be setting, so the plan was to go and put the groceries away, then go and get ice and prepare for an early morning departure the next day. Yo, once again, thank you very, very, very much for watching. You could have been doing anything else on earth, but you watched this video to the end. So click like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know you checked in. I will answer back. And hey, get ready for the next one. See you soon.